Welcome to today's Explainer. Get ready, because we are about to take an absolutely incredible time travel journey across a massive 100-year gap in Canadian history. I mean, just imagine snapping your fingers and watching the entire world transform. We're going from a quiet, black-and-white 1926 landscape straight into a vibrant, towering 2026 modern skyline. It's the same nation, sure, but a century of incredible change has completely rewired how we live, work, and communicate.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our itinerary for time travel today. We'll start with a century of change, then explore connecting the nation, examine the transformation of home, see how work and learning evolve, and finally, look at the enduring Canadian landscape.
Section 1. A Century of Change.
And this brilliantly illustrates the leap from a simple, snow-covered village life to one of the world's most advanced countries. Back in 1926, life was deeply local. You had these quiet villages where your daily routine was totally dictated by the seasons and the daylight. Fast forward to 2026, and you see a completely transformed, colorful, highly advanced country that never really sleeps.
One nation, 100 years of incredible change. This century-long leap didn't just change the buildings or the clothes, it fundamentally rewrote the rules of distance and daily life. The massive challenges of 1926, like surviving those harsh winters, or just the sheer isolation of living miles and miles apart, were met with relentless innovation.
Section 2. Connecting the Nation.
Let's look at how we actually move and communicate. Technology basically erased the vast distances across this country. Back in 1926, those heavy, chugging steam trains were the absolute marvel of the age, moving slowly but steadily across treacherous snowy mountains. Today, fast, high-speed passenger trains effortlessly connect millions. What used to be a long, arduous, multi-day journey is now a smooth, lightning-fast ride. And let's talk about the roads. We are shifting gears from the roaring 20s, where vintage cars were slow, mechanical luxuries for the lucky few, right to modern highways stretching coast to coast. Considering the Trans-Canada Highway didn't even exist back then, personal transport truly shifted from a rare privilege to an absolute everyday necessity. It fundamentally accelerated our pace of life. Today, those expanding roads are just packed with sleek electric SUVs.
But it wasn't just physical movement that sped up. Imagine sitting down to write a letter, putting a stamp on it, and just waiting days or even weeks for it to arrive. Compare that to the modern magic of instant smartphone video calls. You press a button, and boom, you're immediately face-to-face with a loved one on the exact opposite side of the country.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just how staggering the shift in accessibility is. Back then, even having a rotary telephone in your house was a rare luxury. Fast forward to 2026, and social media literally fits the entire globe right in your pocket. It renders distance practically non-existent.
Section 3. The transformation of home.
Let's bring this down from the macro-nation level right into our living rooms. Just picture a family in 1926, huddled together around a wood-burning stove in a simple, practical wooden cabin while the snow falls heavily outside. Keeping that fire going was a physical chore you simply couldn't ignore. Compare that to 2026, where you have a smart home with an automatic thermostat that actually knows your schedule. It warms the house up just to welcome you before you even step through the front door.
This transformation completely changed how we eat, too. A grocery run in 1926 was incredibly simple. You bought what was local, what was in season, and what was essential. Today, modern stores offer products globally. Supermarkets are these massive marvels of logistics where you can pick up fresh ingredients sourced from literally every corner of the world in one quick trip.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our entertainment and our memories. In 1926, families would gather around a crackling old radio just to feel connected, and sitting for a vintage photo was a really rare formal occasion. Today, a smart TV provides global streaming on demand, and preserving memories has shifted from those stiff portraits to snapping half a dozen daily smartphone selfies.
Section 4. Work and learning evolve.
The shift in how Canadians earn a living is just stark. A century ago, Canada's economy relied heavily on immense physical labor. Logging meant getting out there and cutting trees by hand with axes, and farming relied on horses and sheer muscle. But look at 2026. We rely on massive modern construction, combine harvesters that do the work of dozens of people, and a booming digital economy fueled by workers typing away on laptops.
And how do we prepare our minds for those jobs? Well, in 1926, knowledge was physical. Students learned from chalkboards, and the local library literally held the limits of a community's knowledge on its shelves. Today, classrooms are completely digital. With tablets and instant online search, information is seconds away, and education has become entirely borderless.
Section 5. The enduring Canadian landscape.
So the crucial point is, despite all of this massive technological change, the core pillars of Canadian identity actually survived. Family life remains at the heart of the culture. That shared passion for ice hockey, it simply moved from a frozen outdoor pond to a packed NHL arena. There is still a deep, unbroken connection to nature, everyday wildlife encounters like moose crossings, and the timeless wonder of the Northern Lights.
Nature still defines Canada. That is a seriously powerful statement. With all our high-speed trains, our smartphones, and our smart homes, this vast, beautiful landscape of mountains and forests remains the ultimate foundation of the nation. In fact, because of all the technological progress we've discussed today, protecting this nature is actually more important today than it has ever been. The old Canada of 1926 has steadily faded into the modern, connected Canada of 2026. Technology transformed daily life in ways our ancestors could barely have even imagined. But the human spirit, it continues to evolve. People still look at the sunrise over the Rocky Mountains and dream of the future. The nation continues to move forward, and the next 100 years are just beginning.
Which brings us to our final question for you. Would you rather live in Canada in 1926 or 2026? After looking at all this incredible transformation, what surprised you the most about this 100-year leap? Think about it, and be sure to comment your favorite era down below. Thanks for joining me on this Time Travel Explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.